Göbekli Tepe wasn't destroyed by invading armies. It wasn't destroyed by a cataclysm. No, it was intentionally buried, so it could last thousands of years. Why would any ancient culture want something to last for thousands of years if it wasn't sending a message to the future? The people who built Göbekli Tepe filled the entire site with rubble, tools, animal bones, layer after layer, like a massive time capsule. Archaeologists estimate hundreds of tons of debris were moved to seal the enclosures. Not every layer is man-made. Some might be natural, washed in over time, but the main fill was deliberate. So why would anyone bury the most advanced site on Earth at the time? To protect it? To mark the end of an era? Or to hide something that future generations might need to know? Because when a culture spends that much time and effort covering a masterpiece, you must ask yourself, why? But the real big question is, what were they trying to tell us? Is Pillar 43 a story about death, like some people say? Or is it a map to the stars, a warning of what may come one day from the heavens? Here's where things get interesting. Some archaeologists think the vulture stone tells the story of death, a ritual where vultures carried the souls of the dead to the heavens. They found human skulls at the site, some carved, some drilled, as if used in ceremonies. But others see something different. A team from the University of Edinburgh believe that animals might actually represent constellations, that the pillar could be an ancient sky map. If that's true, this stone might not just be symbolic, it could be a memory of something the builders lived through. And here's where the story takes a wild turn. Some researchers have noticed that the timing of this disaster, around 11,000 BC, lines up eerily well with the flood myths that echo across the world. In Mesopotamia, they call it the Epic of Atrahasis. The Bible remembers it as Noah's Ark. Now, I'm not saying Göbekli Tepe is Noah's Ark. I know there are some researchers out there who have alluded to the idea that Göbekli Tepe could be connected to Noah. Now, I personally disagree with that. However, on the flip side to that, we cannot ignore that every culture in the ancient world had a flood myth. That cannot be ignored. So think about this for a second. If your world just got hit by fire from the sky, how do you make sure that no one forgets? You carve it in stone. You make it part of your rituals, and you link the sky to the dead. But until we excavate the entire site of Göbekli Tepe, we are just none the wiser of whether or not this is one big calendar. They say they're excavating, but in, I believe, a few decades, it's only ever moved, well, it hasn't moved. It's still like 10%, only 10% excavated. So, take that as you will. But is the entire site of Göbekli Tepe, could that actually be a warning to us that we are choosing to ignore?